Hi, it's Kitty Blue. I am behind the camera for this video, and it's just going to be a short comparison video of the dolls that you see in front of you. They include the hoofed dolls for Resin Soul in the MSD size, and several centaur dolls that are in the MSD size and smaller. Unfortunately, I do not have a tripod at this time to where I can take a video that shows posability, so this is just going to be more of a comparison from one doll to the other, where the joints are, how the joints look, and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started here over to the end. As I said, I have some Resin Soul dolls up here, and this one right here is one of the Resin Soul dolls. She is a Resin Soul Yow. She's got beautiful little pointy elf or fantasy ears. She is just the two-legged hoof doll. And there you can see her hoofs. She's got a little bit of light feathering or textures at the bottom there towards the hoofs. I do have two of the SD size hoofed Resin Souls, but I did not bring them into this video. Her joint, as far as her joints, she does not have any joints or double joints or anything in her legs. They're just like two pieces. Actually, they're three pieces. Move up her skirt. She's got a three-piece legs there. She does have double jointed elbows. Her torso is actually three parts. There's a break right here, and then there's a break down here. So it is a three-part torso. She is approximately almost 44 centimeters tall. Now, in comparison to the Impel dolls, which these two right here are, and they are on the centaur bodies. You can see with the forelegs. You can definitely tell the considerable height difference in between these dolls. When I first saw these dolls, I thought it was wonderful. They were, listed as approximately 45, 46 centimeters tall. I was just like, oh, this is great. They'll look really good in with my other MSDs. Unfortunately, when I got them, I realized that they're only 38 centimeters tall. So that is fair warning to anybody looking into the Impel doll deer centaurs. The few things that I did notice about this sculpt, that I kind of dislike, is that there are big gaps, like here and all the way around. And to me, this line just straight across, just kind of very ugly and not very pretty, and it doesn't blend in with the human part of them. I really think that for as short as the deer bodies are, that they should, the torsos, the human torso parts, should be at least, something smaller or slimmer in size and not so bulky and mature as these two are. You can definitely tell from just this angle how much of a vast difference their heads are. His head's much smaller. His face is much, he's got more facial space and less forehead, and it's not very huge and domed in the back, whereas hers is very, she's got a really huge dome there on the back of her head. Her ears are downwards and his are upwards, which are very cute. I really do like the way the Sam sculpt, which is the boy here, I really love his sculpt, his facial sculpt. I think he's just very cute. His lips are very nice and everything. I'm not very keen on the Trista. She's just not, she doesn't appeal to me. Her head just seems just way too large for this body. And that's saying a lot, because I have a lot of Resin Soul dolls and their heads are usually bigger than their body. And I think more or less it's the human aspect, or the torso, that's very just wide. You can see here that they just have the two-part torso right underneath the bust. It doesn't give them much posability. They can kind of move side to side, but they're not gonna be able to twist and look from one angle to the other. But they can just kind of go back and forth and probably, or I'm sorry, side to side this direction, not twisting. And then they probably can do a little bit of movement back and forward as far as slouching, but not very much, not very posable at all, in my opinion. And if you look at their hoofs, these are the way the hoofs are built. They're very long, just very almost pincher-like. They almost look like pinchers versus like hoofs. But they got a lot of this feathering going on that's kind of parted, which I think takes away from the sculpt as well. Next I have the Doll Zone Deer Boy. He is approximately 17 centimeters tall. The Ada, Doll Chateau Ada, which is the other one next to him, is the same height. He's about 17 centimeters tall as well. He is on the spindly little forelegs of the centaur body that Doll Chateau carries. He does have double jointed arms and legs. The Doll Zone does as well in his both arms and legs. I believe the Doll Chateau, or the Doll Zone, is two-part torso, just like the Doll Chateau is. But you can definitely tell the considerable difference in girth as far as like their body shapes, even though they're the same height. Ada is very, very slim. Behind Ada is the Alberta from Doll Chateau. She's got the wonderful, gorgeous, like, moose ears, and her face is just really, really pretty. I love her face. Her torso on her deer body. I just want to move my other guys over here a little bit so you can see. It's pretty much set up the same as the Doll Chateau Ada. Let me just turn her to the side here a little bit. So her body is just this whole one piece. There's like no break in the seam here from her centaur body to her human body. It's just all one piece and goes in like this. And she's just got this one break right here, which actually is not too bad. I think out of all the dolls I have up here so far, I haven't worked with the Luts very well, but she definitely has a lot more posability as far as in this torso here, where it can twist a little bit back and forth. It can go, you know, she can arch backwards, she can bend forwards and go side to side. And her legs are very long and thin. She's about 44 centimeters as well, about the same height as the Rosenthal Yow. And she does have double joints in her arms and her legs. Next we're going to move on to the Sum Sink centaur body and the torso. And this is where it's really nice, much better, more pleasing looking than the Impel doll. The centaur body here into the human torso just smooths, it just goes really nicely. It just blends in really nicely. There's not very many gaps, but there is just a tiny bit. There's a tiny bit of gap, like, you know, right here. But his torso fits down in there really well. His arms are double jointed. Again, he just has this one joint up here, and it's not very posable at all. He can go kind of, you know, he can kind of go like side to side, but he can't like twist. The upper body can't really twist. It just looks very awkward, and it doesn't look very very pleasing to the eye. He does have a very nice muscular chest and whatnot. If he had a head, he would probably be approximately 53 centimeters tall. Let's just take a closer look. You can see his horse hoofs there. They're very, very thin, which horse legs are pretty thin. I really think that his torso could be just a little bit smaller than his horse body. I think it's a little bit more extreme. I'm thinking about actually seeing about getting a Soldal Lester, or one of the Soldal Vitos I should say, and seeing how the upper torso here would fit on the Sum body. So that is it. You can kind of see his legs back there, but I don't want to knock any of my guys over here, so we're just going to try to see his legs. And next we have one of my newer dolls. This is the Luts Luts Zuzu Delph Griffin. He's in the lovely, beautiful tan skin. And he's got the centaur body, but these are actually a cat. He's got little cat feet and little cat hands and a very cute little cat face. He's got the two-part torso right here, which seems to probably will give him great posability. He'll probably be able to twist as well as go side to side and, you know, arch backwards and forwards. And then take this piece off here. And these pieces are just magnetic that go into here. And this blends really nicely in with the upper torso. The centaur body blends nicely, as well as and he's about 21 centimeters tall, by the way. And next to him is going to be my new Luts Centaurs and Centaurs. That is the way I'm going to say. I'm probably not saying it correctly, pronouncing it very correctly, but that is them. And same way with them, the torso here, these lines are just so smooth and very just aesthetically pleasing to the eye, in my opinion. They just blend right in with the upper torso. There is no gaps whatsoever. The torso just fits right down into that horse or deer, as you may, body. And he's got these gorgeous, gorgeous ears. They're approximately about the same height as the Dal Chateau Alberta. They're about 44 centimeters, maybe just a tad taller. He's got these gorgeous horns that he comes with, and these beautiful, beautiful ears. And hers are downward, just kind of like, almost like the Impodal Trista there. Her ears are downward as well. And as far as her head, I really like her. She is just so gorgeous. I really like her head. I think she's just a very beautiful sculpted head. His head's a little bit, I'm a little iffy on it. His face just seems to be very, very squished, like kind of, you know, into the center, and he's got all this like head space, and just for some reason it just doesn't have that nice flow to it as she does. I think her head looks like it is just slightly bigger than his, but it could just be the antlers that are on their head, which is very, very gorgeous. These antlers are just gorgeous. They're kind of like a clear golden color, and the black ones are kind of like a very black, almost like speckled effect to them. And their hoofs are actually the same. We want to go down here. And these hoofs are just gorgeous. I love the whole entire look of these dolls. Their hoofs are just really, really nicely shaped. They get this nice, just beautiful feathering right here and up here. It's not, you know, crazy and haphazard like these guys over here. It's just, you know, that's just crazy. They have just very hairy bottom legs. And so that's them. The big difference you can also tell with these is that the boy has this nice, wonderful break here in his two-part torso. Hers is right underneath the bust. So him, I think he'll have a little bit more movement, twisting, you know, back and forth, or twisting to either side. She's going to have a little bit more difficult, I think, twisting, but I will try and like take some pictures or something to show that. At the very end we have the Resin Soul Ming, which is the boy version of the hoofed doll, and he's approximately about 46 centimeters tall. I am just going to move him out of the way so that you can see this closer. Now, as you might remember in the first part of the video when I showed you the Impel dolls, how this line right here on the legs, where the Impel doll was just like, it was just all the way out here and down. They have, the Luts has a very nice, much nicer streamlined. And I'll just pull these forward here next to each other. So you can see how far back those legs really go outwards, whereas these, it's more underneath of the doll. And again, there is definitely a considerable size difference in between these two bodies, even though the torso is probably the same. The torsos are probably the same length, the human part of the torso, but it's just so short in that angle. Like I said, I'm going to try and take some photos. Since my tripod is not working, I can't do any posability videos right now. But what I'm going to do is try to take some photos of these dolls in different poses at some point. I will put a nice lovely link down in the description of this video so that you are able to view the differences and the heights of these dolls that I have shown you today. So thank you so much for watching this very short comparison video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them below. And that is it for tonight. So have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye.